All right, today we're diving into something incredibly ambitious. It's a plan to completely rethink how we live, starting with the humble suburb, but aiming for nothing less than a new blueprint for civilization.
So the project we're looking at today kicks off with this huge question. And it's not just some philosophical thought experiment, right? It's a direct challenge. It's basically asking, are we going to build the world we want to live in or just keep dreaming about it?
And why ask such a big question? Well, it's because we're up against some equally big problems. This whole blueprint is designed to take on three major crises all at once: climate instability, a serious lack of affordable housing, and this feeling of disconnection that so many of us have.
Okay, so that brings us right to the heart of it. This isn't just theory. We're talking about a tangible, real-world experiment that's trying to be a blueprint for a modern utopia. Let's get into it. Meet OneLakeDryer.com. So how does this actually work? Well, it all kicks off with a brand new model for living, one that's all about fundamentally re-architecting our physical world. And they've got a name for it, the Sanctuary Suburb. Now pay attention to this definition because it's really key. A sanctuary suburb isn't just about putting up some green buildings. No, it's a fusion of three really powerful ideas: ecological design, a completely new take on ethical finance, and, get this, artificial intelligence that has a moral compass. This chart, it just nails their unique approach. You can see it's a blended asset. 70% is grounded in the physical stuff, transforming real estate. But that other 30%? That's invested in something you can't touch, but is maybe even more valuable: the AI-enhanced wisdom and the intellectual property that can be copied and pasted anywhere.
So let's dig into that 70%, the physical blueprint. This is all about being resilient and regenerative. We're talking modular homes made from containers designed to handle fires and floods. They're surrounded by these permaculture food forests and powered by their own solar microgrids. And the whole look? It's inspired by the iconic Habitat 67.
And this leads to a really cool concept they're calling dignified density. The whole point is to solve the housing crisis without just paving everything over and creating concrete jungles. The idea is to use clever modular design and tons of shared green space to build up, not just out. You get these compact communities that still feel spacious and connected and, truly alive. But, this project isn't just about the physical stuff. It goes from the bricks and mortar right into the philosophical. Because a community isn't just its buildings, right? It needs a shared set of values, a kind of moral operating system to guide it.
And here it is. This is that operating system. They call it the 7 skills of Scripture. Now, this isn't about pushing one particular religion, not at all. It's a universal curriculum that pulls convergent wisdom from a bunch of different world texts. Think the Bible, the Quran, the Bhagavad Gita. The goal is to teach really practical skills, from mindfulness through breath to regenerative ecology through gardening, to create this shared foundation for a good life.
But hey, in the 21st century, it's not just us humans who need a moral compass, is it? And this quote, it poses such a crucial question for our time, leading us straight to the project's most futuristic and maybe most controversial part.
So meet Lotus AI. And no, this is not your typical AI. Its whole purpose is to act as a sort of digital chaplain, an ethical guide trained on all those wisdom texts to help with everything from learning to community governance. The core idea is to make absolutely sure that technology is serving our conscience, not the other way around.
Okay, I know, this all sounds incredibly ambitious, right? But here's the thing. A utopia that can't pay its own bills is it's just a dream. So how is this project actually structured to work, to scale, and to become what they're calling the business of regeneration?
The key here is a total shift in financial philosophy. They call it covenantal finance. So instead of conventional finance, which is all about extraction for profit, the goal here is regeneration that's driven by wisdom. Capital isn't just a commodity to be bought and sold. It's seen as a covenant, a sacred trust.
All right, let's talk numbers, because this is where the model gets really compelling. Thanks to that modular design and a streamlined process, the total all-in cost to build one of these resilient food and energy-independent homes is just around $105,000. I mean, in today's housing market, that number is it's shockingly low.
Now get this, even with a target sale price of $275,000, which is way below market rate in a lot of places, that leaves a potential gross profit of $170,000 per unit. A gross margin over 60% isn't just profitable, it's what makes this whole business of regeneration a viable, self-sustaining engine.
And this is where you can really see the scale. The first prototype community they're planning in Delaware has 256 units. So you multiply that by the per unit profit, and that single project could generate something like $45 million in gross profit. That's what funds the next one, and the one after that.
So what does it take to get this thing off the ground? To make this first prototype a reality? To build the proof of concept at their site on One Lake Drive in Delaware and unlock that $45 million potential? The project is looking for $7 million in seed funding.
But of course, the vision doesn't stop at 1 acre in Delaware. No way. The entire model is designed for global replication. This is all about creating a blueprint that can be adapted and scaled pretty much anywhere in the world. And here's the roadmap for how they plan to do it. Year 1 is all about building that foundation, the proof of concept. By year 2, the revenue starts kicking in. And by years 4 through 7, the goal is to be scaling up nationally and even internationally.
So how do they plan to scale that fast? Well, not by building everything themselves. That's the key. The main growth engine is a franchise model. It's an asset-light approach where they license the entire system, the architectural blueprints, the operational systems, the curriculum, and that AI platform.
And look, this isn't just some idea stuck in a pitch deck. It's already getting real-world traction. It's got a political endorsement in the Delaware Democratic Party platform. The AI concept got praised for its originality by Google's own AI. And it's even been shortlisted by venture analysts as a potential future unicorn. So people are paying attention.
Which brings us right back to where we started. We've seen the physical blueprint, we've looked at the moral operating system, and we've checked out the financial engine. So the question is the same, but now you have all the details. Is this a viable blueprint for our future, or is it a dream that's just a little too ambitious to build?